It's green for go. They're racing.
He says go.
He says ta-da.
And Tiger Tara roars away from them on the home turn.
Here comes another big boil over.
Equine athleticism at its best. The king is in the castle once more.
This is in one race. The rest are almost in another postcode.
She is a star with a capital S.
It's going to be a triple treat, a miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that?
It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to bolt in.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Sunday session. Do you like harness racing in New South Wales? Well, you're going to be well served over the next 30 minutes or so as I take a look at the Club Menangle meeting on Saturday night, catch up with a couple of the big players from the meeting and try to highlight a few of the beaten runners to follow going forward. My name is Greg Hayes. This is the Sunday session. It's part of the Sprint Lane podcast for Harness Racing New South Wales. The track last night at Menangle was on fire. There was a sub 150 effort and a couple around the 150 mark, so with the warm weather, the horses are out there running time. It's great to see. My two guests on the show this week are going to be Seaton Grima, who drove two winners on the card, Stravinsky, who is low flying, while Loyalist couldn't have been more impressive with his win, grabbing Mac Da Vinci in the shadows of the post. Just on Seaton Grima, he's a young bloke who's really putting together a good record, and doesn't he love to run? He gets to the front, he tries to run his rivals into the ground. There's no sitting up and getting a breather and thinking about next week. If he thinks he has the best horse in the race, then he'll just run the hands off the clock in an attempt to break his rivals' hearts. Refreshing for people tuning in to watch the races because it is something we don't see a lot of. Sure, he sets himself up to be run over like we saw with I'm No Trouble in the first, but he does make it exciting. My other guest on the show is Joe Rando. He and Mary have put together a good team, and last night Lineup got his first win for the stable. He comes, Lineup, with a huge reputation after winning the New South Wales and Victoria derbies, and now as a 7-year-old, Joe is going to set him for some big races, but more on that later in the show. Joe's training for Emilio and Mary Rosati. Wouldn't be an easy job, I wouldn't think, and Emilio has had his fair share of trainers over the years, so I might ask Joe what it's like to be training for the Rosatis. I actually got to Menangle on Saturday night. Haven't been for a few months, and it was a great night. The Harness Breeders of New South Wales were having their awards night, and I was invited to be the MC for the night. It was a good night. The Don Clough Award was won by John Heath, and it was a much-deserved one. John has had a great career in the sport that spanned more than 60 years. He spent time in the sport as a breeder, a trainer, a driver, an owner, an administrator, and I think last night's award came as a bit of a shock. So congratulations to John and, in fact, all of the Heath family who were in attendance last night. While on Saturday night, how good was the racing at Melton? I know we concentrate on New South Wales racing on this program, but the Hunter Cup was won by the freak show that is Leap to Fame. Caught off the track for the first part of the race. He finally worked to the front and then charged from the half to win. Don't Stop Dreaming was huge for Mark Purdon. I wonder if Mark should have taken off a little bit earlier, but the horse didn't help himself when he got very rough as they straightened and he lost a little bit of momentum. The New South Wales horses were brave. Typo got to the pegs, never left them. He got fifth. Jack Callaghan came off the inside with Spirit of St. Louis. That in the end probably cost him a spot or two. He finished sixth. Kanina Provlima was eighth and never got a crack and ran through the line. And Sia Art got tired after being forced to race outside the leader. While speaking of Jason Grimson trained runners, Frankie Ferocious grabs a spot in the Chariots of Fire with his win in the Bonanza at Melton. Cam Hart produced a perler as he got off the inside to charge home over the top. Captain's Knock led, ran third, and they did hike along, so he didn't lose too many admirers. And finally, what about the Great Southern Star? How good was that? With the French horse, Call Me the Breeze, grabbing Just Believe late. It was a super race, and Just Believe tried his heart out. He actually looked in trouble on the turn, but he fought on very strongly in the late stages, only to be pipped on the line. 2 runs in the one night, the heat and then the final. It's huge, and it's obviously based on the Elite Lop in Sweden. That's a special race, and if we keep getting Great Southern Stars like we saw on Saturday night, that race is just going to continue to grow and grow in stature around the world. Back to the show. The Menangle Express is back this week. I'll have a look at all of the races at Menangle and see if I can spot a future winner or two. Mr. T, he'll be back as well as we go head-to-head in our tipping challenge. He got 2 winners last week. I had one scratched and the other one won, so it was a good week for the tips. I'll update what is happening with fantasy harness racing as well, and we're going to squeeze all of that in. So sit back and relax as the Sunday session gets underway.
It's Stravinsky leading the way over Mildem Snowy, McCrikey. They've got separation on the rest, headed by Dadden Dave and King Tintin. They flatten in 26-7 the quarter. They're breaking the arms off the clock. The leader was Stravinsky. He gets to work now. Leads the way by about 6 metres on Mildem Snowy, clear of McCrikey, Dadden Dave and King Tintin. But it's Stravinsky starting to pull away again. And with 50 metres to go, Faves home. Stravinsky all the way beats Mildem Snowy.
Big night for Seaton Grima, continually saying this on the podcast, and we've got him on again to have a chat after another big night at Club Menangle. Seaton Grima, hello, congratulations.
Hey, Greg. Thanks for having me on.
No problems at all, mate. We'll start with the win of Stravinsky in race number 2. You train Stravinsky, and he could not have been more impressive in taking out that second race.
Yeah, he sort of put the writing on the board his first start when he sat outside our Cosmic Major in the heat of the Christmas gift. They went 51, low 151, and he ran second, stuck on pretty well. In the final, probably, the speed was on and, probably just got found wanting more. But then, he backed it up 2 weeks ago with a strong run going low 150 in front. I elected to just sort of give him a week in between, let him sort of freshen him back up, and he proved to be good tonight again.
There was no coming off the accelerator at all. 27-27-7. You just got to the front and said, catch me if you can.
Yeah, but being the low rating he is, I know the ability's there, so I thought if I can make it a staying test and run time, almost time that the rest of the field can't run, it's his race to be won. So, I elected just to roll along all steady quarters. It seemed to work 2 weeks ago, and that's I think that's the way how he races best. So no, I didn't see any reason to go away from that.
His rating assessment, as you said, he was racing in the up to 80s on Saturday night. So what sort of races can you target? Is there something you can throw him in over the carnival and really test the waters with him? Yeah,
I'd love to look higher, but only being in the up to 80 grade, he hasn't, nothing against the other up to 80 horses, but he hasn't really beat any of the good horses that would be aiming for the bigger races. So, no, I'd still be happy if he could just keep punching around in the up to 80s and, carry this form into the 95s. In saying that, if he can continue this form in the up to 95s, then, I don't see no reason that we can look up higher.
He's obviously got the toughness. You spoke about the time he sat outside our Cosmic Major in the heat. What is his best racing pattern? Is what we saw on Saturday night the best thing for him to, for you to just get to the front and run along, or is he better when he's able to do a little bit of grinding outside horses?
I'm not 100% sure. Like, every time I've led on him and let him run, he's won, and pretty convincingly as well. So we know he's a much better horse out in front. But no, I would be keen to see what he can do sitting outside a horse.
So just go back to the well again for a couple of weeks. Like, what's the plan now?
So I'll probably race him next week. Being the up to 80s only over a mile. Probably, look to back him up next week. He's still only in the up to 80s. So, probably go around again next week and then, look to freshen him up again and, then see what up to 95 races there are for him.
Big win for Loyalist. Spoke with Joe Conolly on the show a couple of weeks ago, and then he mentioned Loyalist wasn't far away, came out, won at Bathurst first up, did a good job there, went 153-1, and then Saturday night you just blow him away late. He rocketed home 149-8, huge win.
Yeah, he sort of put the writing on the wall that he was back at Bathurst. Like you said, 53-1, doing a power of work and, winning pretty convincingly. Me and Joe both thought he probably wasn't 100% ready tonight to, pull off what he did. But at the top of the straight, he still had a lot of horse left. And sort of when I pulled him out at the top of the straight, I thought I was going to run a nice second or third. But, no, with 50 to go, you could really feel him dig in and, he wanted to make sure he put his head in front.
What were you thinking halfway round? There was speed on, so it would have kept you interested, I guess.
Oh, exactly. Down the back when, we were rolling, he was travelling so comfortably and sort of, that's his go, just doing nothing early, tucking him in behind them and, just hope for the speed on. Hopefully the speed's on and, it was set up perfect for him last night.
He's just got that explosive finish. Like he's a special racehorse. Joe's done a great job to get him back. What does he feel like when you're sitting behind him? Does he feel like a motor car?
Oh, he's just knowing what he can do, and that if they're going a 25 quarter, he can outsprint them, or if they're going a 30 quarter, he can outsprint them. He's just so fast. He's probably the fastest horse I've ever driven. I've got Firefox here as well, and I almost can't split them. He just travels on the bit so well behind them, and when you pull him out, he's gonna go through another 3 or 4 gears.
So what's the chat with Joe been? Is it going to be races like the Newcastle Mile and the Miracle Mile qualifiers? Is that what he's looking at?
Well, after his win last night, he ran past a quality field, not just 1 or 2 good horses, but a field full of them. To sit on Mac Da Vinci's back and run past him, who probably wasn't at his best last night, but he's been doing, he's been sitting park and winning in 150, and he always hits the line strong. So to run past a horse like that and do it pretty convincingly, we probably will start looking at the Newcastle Mile and the qualifying heats for the Miracle Mile.
Well, he's definitely not going to be out of his depth in races like that. Must ask you about I'm in Trouble in the first. He finished 4th as favourite. What did you make of I'm in Trouble?
I was pretty happy with his run. Probably just, we got a bit tired late, but only his second run back, and his first run, it was a big run at Penrith, but he ended up locking wheels at the top of the straight, and I was pretty confident he was going to win that week. But just a bit unlucky in them circumstances. So no, I thought he was ready for last night, but he turned out to be probably just a little bit underdone after the race. He blew up over his back. So no, he runs some pretty good section. I'll probably miss a week with him as well, and then look to see if we can find a suitable race for him.
Mate, how's everything going with you chasing that A-grade licence? You far away yet?
Still a while away. Still going backwards and forwards with harness racing, New South Wales, to try and get approved. But no, unfortunately, still a B grade at the minute. But definitely keen to get that A grade status.
Well, mate, you keep producing horses like Stravinsky, and surely they can't keep turning you away. Congratulations on another huge night at Menangle. Well done. Good luck going forward.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Greg.
Lineup looks to travel okay, nearing the corner, running it to within a head now is Zeus Bromac, but it's under pressure. Behind them next is Danger Zone. Smithy's Terror's about to peel an offer, and the rest are headed by Old Double Encounter, coming very deep as they flatten in. 27 for the quarter. Lineup is the leader. Zeus Bromac tries hard. Smithy's Terror's trying to wind up, but Lineup still 5 metres in front. Zeus Bromac sticking to its guns, coming through the middle now with Smithy's Terror. Double Encounter's off the track, but it's all Lineup. Lineup's home, and Lineup will go home and beat Zeus Bromac. A good effort.
Lineup got his deserved victory last night at the Club Menangle, and it was good to see. He won going 151, 27.5, 28.8, 27.4, 27.3, and the horse has been in great form this campaign and finally got the win. Joe and Mary Rando trained the horse. Joe's joining me to have a chat. Congratulations, Joe. Well done.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, really happy. Mary and I are really happy with the horse. Yep.
He deserved to get a victory this time in because he has been racing so consistently.
Yeah, look, from his first run to his from his first run to his last run, like his first run, he was first up and he went down, I think, a nose, and then his second run, he did a lot of work in the lead time. They went 47.5 and 153 for the 2300. And he battled on, he was the horse making ground late in that race. And then he, the run after that, he sat parked in 48 and 6 and got beaten 6 metres. And then, mate, last night he really deserved the win, yeah.
That run behind Hi, My Name is Jeff, when he sat parked and they broke the 150, did that tell you, yep, we've got him where we want him?
Yes. Yeah. Look, we were watching the race, and when you don't expect them to go 48. I thought a high 49, low 50 in that race. But when they break the 49 and he sat parked and the time come up, we were really surprised, but it really topped him off, yeah.
And then last night, he was once he was able to get to the front, were you pretty confident in the run?
Yeah, he switched off. He rolled around, and that's what he does in track work. He'll switch off, and he was pricking his ears and looking around. And Will said he was just lazy, but he just did it. I've never had a horse that tries so hard that's so lazy. It's hard to explain, but he was pricking his ears up the straight and looking around. And Will said he just needed some company up outside him, and he was just, he was too good for him.
So what are the plans with him now? Like, because of that run behind Hi, My Name is Jeff, are you thinking about some of the better races over the carnival?
Yeah. Plan at the moment would be target the Cordina Sprints.
Yep.
So he'll probably have another run in between and then into the Cordina Sprint. His form should get him into one of those races, especially behind Hi, My Name is Jeff, and like, I think he gets a bit more competitive when he's up in grade.
Does he come with pressure because he was a 2-time Derby winner? Like, when he arrives at the stable, is it pressure because of the record he has as a 3-year-old?
When Emilio dropped him off, he said, just treat him like another horse, and it's hard to do, but, we just treat him like another horse. He's his own self, it's like I said, it's hard to explain this horse. He's his own self. He does his own thing, especially when in track work. But yeah, the pressure is there, but you just don't think about it and press on.
The stable's going really well at the moment because Have No Fears won 4 of its last 7. You've got to be happy with how Have No Fears been going.
Yeah, he's come back really well. All these horses are coming off long breaks, and he's come back really well. His first couple of runs, he just needed it, and he's just got stronger and better. Especially the night he parked in 54, and it showed me that he's an above average trotter, which he's a Group 1 winner as well as a 3-year-old.
Mm. So what are you going to look at with him in the next month or so?
He's in the paddock.
Oh, really?
He's gone for a break. Yeah.
Just needed it?
Yeah. He's been up for 7 months, and because he had so long off, Emilio and I spoke about it, and we just thought it would be the best thing for him, and probably concentrate at the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, he had a very good campaign then for you this time in.
Yeah, we were wrapped with his runs. He just doesn't give in. Like the other night, when he ran 4th, he was getting pushed up the track, but he just kept on trying and trying.
Yeah, it's a very important trait for a horse to have. If they want to give for you, it's always worth worth keeping them around, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Mate, what about the training for Emilio Rosati? How is that?
Yeah, really good. Like, we've got the majority of the stable are Emilio's and Mary Rosati's horses. It just sort of fell in our lap. Like we trained for Mary and Emilio quite a few years ago, and we were pre-training horses for him, and then he gave us a couple to race, and it's just rolled from there. And they're really nice people to train for.
Does that mean there's more paces in the yard than there normally would be, or is there still a fair number of trotters?
Fair number of trotters, yeah, because Mary Rosati loves her trotters. But I think we've got a pretty good mix pacers and trotters. Like we've got, I think we've got 50-50 at the moment. So, yeah, but it's nice to have another nice pacer again, another couple of nice pacers again,
Yeah, for sure. And so what? You're full up in terms of how many horses you've got there?
Yeah. At the moment, yeah, we're full. We've got a 20-horse barn, but we're not doing 20. We're doing about 16, 17, Mary and I, and a worker. And but we've got some really well-bred horses and really nice horses, yeah.
And are we going to see a few more horses from the stable race soon? Are there horses ready to come in and hit the ground running?
Yeah, Leaf Stride's probably about 3 weeks away from the trials, 2 to 3 weeks away from the trials. He had a real good break. He had about 6 weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
He was when we got him, he was still in work, and he'd been up for a long time, so he went out for 6 or 8 weeks. The one that I'm waiting for is Toro. Yep. Toro Stride. He's about 4 weeks away from the trials. He had a good break. He went to Victoria and raced in that race down there, and then come home. We put him straight in the paddock. We didn't plan for him to race in the carnival this season. It's sort of him as well at the back end of the season for him as well. Yeah.
So Toro Stride. So if he's 4 weeks off a trial, a couple of weeks after that he'll be ready to go to the races?
Yeah, he'll be ready to go back again. Yeah, he actually grew and bulked out again. So he's Mary and I have a lot of time for this horse. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll put that in the diary and make sure when I see him trial, I'll have a look. Mate, congratulations with the winner lineup, and all the best of luck with him going forward.
Thanks, Greg.
Time to review all the action from Menangle last night with the Menangle Express. A quick look back at every race in an attempt to find winners into the future. Race 1, favourite was I'm in Trouble at $2.90, and the first was over the longer trip. Arden's Ace showed his customary speed to lead before handing over to King Tiger. They quickly settled into Indian File, King Tiger, Arden's Ace, Tuppence, I'm in Trouble, Dark Terror, Cassius Deck, and Unfazed. As they raced out of the straight, I'm in Trouble came away from the pegs with Seaton Grima attacking for the lead and getting it with 1,000 metres to go. Dark Terror came away from the inside thinking there might be some cover there, so there wasn't. Arden's Ace jumped onto its back and Cassius Deck got into the 1-2. 31-5 and 27-1 were the first 2 quarters, and then Grima ran 26-6 through the third quarter, and everything was chasing hard and stretched. Dark Terror hit the front with I'm in Trouble tiring in the straight. Arden's Ace peeled out of the 1-1, grabbed the lead with 80 to go, maybe 50 to go, before Unfazed, who came with that one run, pulled at the widest and had that last shot and got there. Last quarter, 29-1, so they obviously were tied. Mile rate of 155.4. Race number 2, and Stravinsky was the $1.50 favourite. And in the early stages, it was My Ultimate Snowy who showed early speed and crossed. Dad and Dave was outside the leader with Stravinsky on its back, but Stravinsky quickly came around the chair horse and pressured for the lead. Ran through the first quarter in 27.9, and once Grima found the front, he rolled along. They quickly went into single file formation with Stravinsky in front of My Ultimate Snowy, McCrikey, Dad and Dave, King Tintin, Celestial Gossip, Ryan's Gangster, and Revered. 27.9 and 26.7. Were the next 2 quarters, and the first 2 broke away from the rest at the top of the straight. Stravinsky outclassed them. 150.2 overall. The only horse to make ground was Celestial Gossip, who's going well, and it'll bob up and win one soon. That's Celestial Gossip in race 2. Race 3, the favourite was You Take My Breath Away at $3.60 in a wide open race. Nearly big time crossed the fave early, and then when Arden's Delight was quickly on the scene to shut the door on You Take My Breath Away, favourite punters were in a bit of pain. Arden's Delight got to the front. Jack Brown came off the inside with You Take My Breath Away, but nothing was coming from deeper on the track, so he was forced to lead up the running line. On the pegs, you had Arden's Delight, Nelly Big Time, Sugar for My Honey, and Pars de Cheval, while the running line was You Take My Breath Away, Sporty Dancer, Heavenly Holly, Polly Put Kettle On, and Total Diva. 28.1 and 30.1 were the first 2 quarters, which set it up for the leaders. 27.8 was the next split, and Arden's Delight was travelling well. Fave was gone as they turned for home. Nelly Big Time came to the outside of Arden's Delight, which meant Sugar for My Honey could stay on the inside. The rest fanned. Heavenly Holly sprinted home well. Total Diva hit the line solidly too. The final quarter was 26-9 with Arden's Delight winning in 152.9. Heavenly Holly second. Sugar for My Honey was third. Not sure about Polly Put the Kettle On. Normally Savage is the line, but a couple went better than her late. Keep a watch on her going forward. Race number 4 was the Waratah final. The favourite was Flying Colours at $3.60. A few wanted to get forward here. Repartee, Will's Way and BOK. BOK was able to cross the field from 10. They went 27-1 for the first quarter, which is fast enough for this company. They settled down on the pegs with BOK, Will's Way, Repartee, Major Husbo, Duke and Be Good Benny. The running line was Ice Blaster, Meet Me at the Beach, Flying Colours and Smash It. 29-9 and 28-7 through the middle gave the leaders a big lungful of air. BOK kicked for home, left the inside. It gave Will's Way a run. Major Huss was weaving and looking for a run. Smash It got wide on the track. Bo Duke had nowhere to go. Will's Way got to the front. Smash It motored home, just missed. BOK was third. Major Huss finished fourth. No luck. Bo Duke was another one with traffic issues. Less than 5 metres covered the first 7, which means the form can be a little bit patchy out of the race. Race number 5, lineup was the $1.90 favourite off the back of some really good recent form. Danger Zone was driven hard to find the lead early before it handed over to lineup. 3 pegs was Major Bob. Major Jealous was behind it. In the running line, Zeus Bromac, Smithy's Terror and Double Encounter. 27-5 followed by 28-8 and 27-4. On the turn, lineup was travelling. Zeus Bromac was under heavy pressure but fought on. Smithy's Terror and Double Encounter came to the outside. 27-3 up the straight for a 151 mile rate. Lineup was too strong for Zeus Bromac and Smithy's Terror. Expected a bit more dash from the third horse, maybe, late. Double Encounter loomed halfway up the straight. He's much, much better when he's driven. Absolutely cold. I think we saw that last night. Race 6 was the fast class of the night, the J.E. Binskin. The favourite in the race was South Coast Arden at $1.80 after his narrow defeat by Hi, My Name is Jeff in sub 150 recently. South Coast Arden was driven off the arm to Crossboom, and despite hiking along, they quickly found their positions. Marker Peg, South Coast Arden, Boom, Balraj and Stingray Tara. The running line was Magician, Boots Electric, Mac Da Vinci, Loyalist, The Croupier and Star Major. First 2 quarters, 26-8, 28-1. And when they ran through that third quarter in 27-2 and the leader was under pressure, it looked to be anyone's race. They fanned wide. Mac Da Vinci was presented, looked the obvious one, but Loyalist had tagged him the whole way and pulled wider for one last crack. The Croupier was weaving back to the inside, looking for clear room. Magician was running wide while getting tired in the straight. In the end, Loyalist dived right at the finish to score over Mac Da Vinci in 149.8. Huge win by Loyalist. South Coast Arden was brave in third after running throughout. The Croupier was huge. He is absolutely flying at the moment. He's going to win one very soon, and Magician deserves to win one as well. He's in that fight every week, does work every week, and always puts in. That's Magician. Race 7 saw Nicolas Cage start the $3.80 favourite, and the early burn in this race helped those back in the field late. Pole marker kicked through and held, so Give Me a Minute, Reactor Factor, Ricochet, Arden's Reality and Art Lincoln made up the line on the pegs. The running line was Magic Moment, Tishan Raider, Nicolas Cage, Smooth Overarm and Our Uncle Jim. First 2 quarters were 26-4 and 29-2, so despite the speed coming off, the damage had already been done. They went 28-1 through that third quarter, turning for home. Give Me a Minute was kicking strongly. The run-on horses, Nicolas Cage, came to the outside, and Our Uncle Jim pulled the widest. Halfway up the straight, it looked like Our Uncle Jim was going to get there, but Nicolas Cage rallied underneath, and it was Nicolas Cage who won narrowly. Reactor Factor did a good job for third. Arden's Reality was clearly the unlucky runner in the race. Couldn't find a run, had to ease to find clear air, and the race was over once it did get into the clear. So follow it. It ran well. And race 8 for the Trotters, and Victory Hill was the favourite at $1.90. There were a few that wanted to get forward here. On Advice showed speed. So did Travel Bug, and in the end it was Drop the Hammer who worked to the front from a wide gate. So on the pegs you had Drop the Hammer, Travel Bug, On Advice, Gunner and King of Love. While off the pegs it was Jungle Eyes who was coursing wide but ended up getting to the chair. Sunny G, Scruffy Doolan and Victory Hill. 28-1, 30.4, 28-6 were the first 3 quarters. Drop the Hammer was in trouble on the bend. Jungle Eyes hit the front and they fanned wide. Drop the Hammer left the pegs, which gave Travel Bug a clear shot. Scruffy Doolan and Victory Hill made their runs together. Jungle Eyes looked certain to hang on, but went really roughly and galloped right on the line. Scruffy Doolan won narrowly. Jungle Eyes was second past the post, but relegated back to fourth for galloping. Victory Hill got promoted to second. Sunny G was moved from fourth to third. Travel Bug was very disappointing after the run it got. Scruffy Dillon loves Menangle, and the second horse will win one very soon, Victory Hill. Best win of the night, hard to go past Loyalist, broke the 150 mark, stalked one of the best run-on horses in Mac Da Vinci and beat him for speed. Good win. Joe Conolly is doing a great job with Loyalist, so we'll make Loyalist the best win of the night. Best drive of the night. Yeah, tough. Luke McCarthy turned back the clock, I guess, with 2 winners. I think Will's Way was the best of his 2 drives. Drove the roughie off the gate, got the spot behind the leader, and then when the gap opened, pushed through and got the result at big odds. So we'll go Will's Way as best driver of the night for Luke. And best beaten effort of the night, the Croupier. Weaving in and out late. He's going to win a race soon and be at good odds when he does. So keep following the Croupier.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Winning. Hey, that's pretty good.
Winner!
That was legitness.
To that I say, all right. Wow, winning.
Bam! Just like that. That's all there is to it, Dustin. That's all there is to it. A winner! Just like that.
And the winner is...
Big week for Mr. T. He got 2 winners and he's cut the margin back. So I got a winner as well, but Ali Burdo only paid $1.10. So I'm minus $64 and he is minus 76. So there's only $12 between Mr. T and I. Here's 2 tips this week. Canberra race 4, number 2 Millwood Grace for David and Blake Mikulev. Been super consistent of late, looking to finally break the maiden and finds itself in a very winnable race. So Canberra, race 4, that's Monday, number 2, Millwood Grace. And Mr. T's other one, race 7 at Young on Tuesday. Number 10, Know the Score for Matt Rue. Hasn't been seen since the Gold Crown. Raced in the Silver Consolation, finished down the track. 3 recent trials at Bathurst, and he should be primed for a first-up performance despite the tough draw. So that is race 7, number 10, Know the Score for Matt Rue. My 2, Menangle, race 3, number 9, Rissa Rocks Red for Neil Day. Only had the 1 run, galloped on debut at Wagga as a very short price favourite. Didn't show a lot, or didn't look to show much speed on that occasion off the gate, so the wide draw shouldn't be too much of a concern. Has been to the trials on 2 occasions since, has been going okay without winning. There doesn't look to be much depth in this one, so I think Rissa Rocks Red might be a good chance. That's race 3, number 9. That's at Menangle. And Young on Tuesday night. Race 2, number 2, Kissed by a Rose for Jet and Nath Turnbull. Hasn't won in its past 6 starts, but has finished second at its past 2. So off the good draw, I'd be expecting Kissed by a Rose to be prominent. And with the Jet Turnbull juggernaut continuing to build, I think Kissed by a Rose is a good chance in the second. So that's race 2, number 2, Kissed by a Rose. Fantasy update, Champo 71 still leads on 7,538 points. Manning 1990 is second on 7,369. So that margin is starting to open up. Mays is third on 7,310. Last year's winner, Will Norman, he's in 8th on 7,138. So he's 400 points off the lead. I've got back to 77th, basically on the back of Luke McCarthy, who had a good week. Round 10, it was won by SBT with 741 points. Mick was second with 734 and Mays was third with 717. Champo 71 was fifth, so not too far away, with 714 points, so still around those top few. All the drivers are back in town this week, so Cam Hart and Robbie Morris will be popular captain choices this time around for week 11 or round 11. That just about wraps up another podcast. The big races are getting closer. That means we aren't too far away from some more great racing action. Big thank you to Seaton Grima and Joe Rando, who both came on the podcast this week. Seaton was going to join me for an interview on Sunday morning, but had another commitment, so we recorded his interview at 12:30 on Sunday morning. Big thank you to him for making himself available this week. Hope you've enjoyed the podcast. I'll be back again next week, so make sure you join me for another edition of the Sunday Session.